Bonsoir, bande Kobaladia, 3W-Voix-Congo.net, toujours dans le cadre de informer bino. Les ngai wa bino ndeko francos na ya lelo. Pona kosola, lelo to ya émission na bino bolinga kamingi ya botu nangani ni botu nanga mingi nange ba bi ask me what. Ask me what lelo to yambi jeune homme moko awa na Londres o azali ko sala makambo minene. Aye awa pona koloba na biso sur projet na ye ezali nini boye bayango awa na Voix of Congo. Bonjour.
Bonjour, ça va bien?
Bon, est-ce que can you introduce yourself? Introduce yourself. Tell us what you do, what's your name, where you come from.
Yeah. So hello, people. My name is NGIMBI. I'm 22 years old, and I'm from North London. For the past 2 years, I've been operating a record label, which I founded when I was at university. Yeah.
Donc aux jeunes, dans si ko banabino azali na label ni balbaga oyo encadre ba musicien. Donc azali awa basé en Angleterre et je vois que le label is based in England.
Based in England, based in London.
Okay, so how many artists do you have in your label?
We have 2 artists signed to the label at this moment, but we're looking to sign more musicians in the future.
So, okay, so why did you decide to get into music?
Yeah. The reason why I got into music is I grew up as a big music lover. At my house, you know, I had my parents playing Congolese music. That was kind of the first form of music which I was listening to when I was like a baby and when I was growing up. And when I became older, I started to immerse myself in different music. You know, so at the time you had American hip hop, which was big. You had grime music, which is basically English rap, which was becoming very big. So then, as somebody who's born in England, but their parents are Congolese, I was very fortunate to have 2 worlds come together. And being someone who loves music and being someone who also loves entrepreneurship, I realized that the 2 could work. I also come from a family where my father's an entrepreneur, my grandfather was an entrepreneur, so business runs in the family.
Okay.
So the idea of opportunities, the idea of freedom is what excited me to want to start a record label. And I was very lucky and fortunate to go to one of the best universities in the country.
Okay.
I went to University of Manchester,
okay,
which is a Russell Group university. So just to kind of give you more details what a Russell Group university is, it's basically 24 universities which the country put down as the best educational institutes for people to learn. So it was a lot of hard work to go to a place like that, but I was very fortunate to go there. So going there wasn't a lot of black people there, or a lot of Congolese people there, so I'm a rare. And I find it very interesting that I'm a rare because I feel like the way we've been going in the last 20 years, our community's been getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Expanding. It's
expanding, yeah. And you know, and then I find it amazing when I meet fellow Congolese people who tell me they're in university, especially they're in Russell Group universities. It makes me very happy to know that we're growing as people. So being at a university like that also enabled me to realize the importance of entrepreneurship, being self-made. And when you're within an environment where everybody's very motivating and they work hard, those are the kind of elements you take in. And that's what I took of running this record label.
Okay, so you was inspired. What was your inspiration when it come to getting into business? Because you talk about law, entrepreneurship, business. What was your motivation?
Yeah, the motivation was family, you know. Like my parents have worked very hard, you know, to come from Congo and to move here, to come to a country where English is not their first language, you know. So for them to have 3 children being born and raised here, from early we've always knew the importance of working hard and being successful, because when you see your parents working very hard to move to a different environment where they know their family can even be more successful, that was always in my mind, and that was one of my main motivations. So that's one. And number 2 is just the people I was with. I'm very lucky to have friends who are very hardworking.
Okay.
And they're in positions of life where they want to be very good in their life. And when you're within that environment, that motivates you to want to work harder. So they were the kind of the motivations I had. And the most important one was just loving music. You know, I think growing up, I always wanted to do something which I would enjoy. You know, I can come into work and be happy. Like I see you today, you were smiling when I opened the door. Yeah, you were smiling because you love what you do. I mean, you do
my own thing.
You do your own thing, and I think that's what I want in life. I want to be doing my own thing, and that's they were some of the main motivations. So just to conclude everything, I would say my family, my environment of my friends, and just being passionate about music. They're the three main motivations of why I started this record label.
So, who's your favorite artist? Because you talk about music, you said you've been into music since you was a young person. So, who's your favorite artist?
Okay, it's gonna be a long list.
Yeah, go on.
So do bear with me.
Yeah.
So obviously, Congolese music was the first form of music I heard. You know, so Zaiko, amazing. You know, Wenga Muzika, amazing. Royal Son, amazing. You know, so they were some of my favorite Congolese musicians. Even Pepe Kale as well. When Dad will play that, I'm loving it. So that's my favorite Congolese music. And Franco.
Can you sing any? Because you sang music.
I can't sing it properly, but they were the first music I remember hearing. You know, and I'm very happy that I love that kind of music. It makes me happy. It makes me very proud of my culture. And what's really astonishing about it is that it's kind of like a forgotten music.
Especially the rumba.
Rumba. When I'm growing up, it's all about Afrobeats, all about Nigerian music, all about Ghanaian music.
I think you came to a stage where Afrobeat was so taken over.
When
we were growing up, it was more the rumba, and Congolese musicians were allowed to play in Europe. But at your stage, I think that sort of influenced the type of music you were listening to, because the Congolese musicians weren't able to come in Europe, so you weren't able to go to Congolese concerts. So that had a lot of influence maybe on the type of music you was listening to.
Yeah, because I think you're right. Because when I told my African friends, or not even African friends, just my friends in general, about Congolese music, they don't know it. But if you tell them about Nigerian music, they know Wizkid, they know the Burna Boys. They don't know
Fally Ipupa?
They don't know them. And Fally Ipupa's big.
Yeah.
They don't know Fally, they don't know Ferre, they don't know many of these people. Because I think the language barrier plays a massive part. Because if you go to France and Belgium, they all know these people. Ferre is big there, Fally's big there, but in London or England, it's a niche market. Only if you're Congolese or if you're into Congolese music, you will know these people. But yeah, just to kind of go back to what you were saying, those people like Fally, Ferre, Royal Son, Zaiko, they're some of my favorite Congolese musicians. But then being born here, I've been able to listen to my own music. So the Skeptors, the Dizzy Rascals, the Young Banes, the J Huss, you know, they're like my favorite music here. And also I like other genres of music other than rap. You know, so I like dance music, I like world music, I like electronic music, I like pop music, like Michael Jackson. You know, the Prince,
slow jams,
Kanye West. You know, 50 Cent, like all of it. And when you're growing up loving music, that's when the motivation started to start this record label. Yeah, so when I tell you, Francois, I love every music.
But you spoke about the old, and I'm going to go back to your Congolese roots. You talked about the old musicians and the music that you used to listen to. What was it important for you to keep in touch with your roots?
Do you know what it is? I've seen a lot of people, and that's my friends included, when they forget their roots, they lose their identity to a point where if you talk to them about Africa, they don't want to talk about it because they're not in touch with their roots, you know. And when you're not in touch with your roots, you become a lost individual. So I always knew that for me to be someone who I'm very proud of, you know, I know myself, because the moment you know yourself, you are untouchable. No one can't mess with you. No one can't put you down because you know yourself. So it was always important for me to know my roots, because my roots is my identity, you know. So being someone who's born in London, so I am English, I am British because I was born here, but I got Congolese blood. I got Congolese roots because my parents are Congolese. So it was always important for my parents to talk to me about Congolese culture. Like when they took me to Congo for the first time, it opened my eyes. I saw a new world. I saw a world which I didn't know it even existed. You know, when you're looking in the media, you're seeing Africa not to be portrayed nice. And then when you see that, you think that's what it's going to be. But then when I went there for the first time, I saw another meaning. And then when I saw that meaning, that's what made me feel proud of who I am. So when I talk to people and they tell me, where are you from? I tell them I'm Congolese. They're like, you're Congolese? And I'm like, yes, I'm Congolese. And they're like, I wouldn't expect you to be Congolese. I thought you'd be Nigerian, I thought you'd be Ghanaian, or somebody once told me I thought I was South African. Because they don't really know a lot of Congolese people being in the UK or being in London, and especially from my environment where I went to university, you know, I got friends from not only just black people but white people, Asians, like they don't know a lot of Congolese people. So I find it very important for me to always respect my roots, embrace my roots, and let people know where I'm from, because it's part of my identity.
What do you think is that? Because you mentioned something very important. You said your friends, your circle of people that you was around with, they don't know a lot of Congolese people. What do you think could be the cause of that? Because a lot of young people, especially a lot of young Congolese nowadays, talk about there being a lack of role models in the community that will inspire young people to want to do greater things, to want to become greater than they are now. Why do you think could be the cause?
Honest truth, I had this conversation with my dad, and I honestly believe it's the area where I'm from.
Yeah.
So I'm not from the Hackneys, the Tottenhams, I'm from Barnet. Barnet's North London. Barnet is like the last area of London and you're going to Hertfordshire. So I grew up in an area where not only there was black people, but there was white people, Asians, so it was a very multicultural area. That's why if you hear the way I speak like a very English person, you know, very well spoken, yeah. But don't get me wrong, people from Hackney and Tottenham, they can be well spoken, 100%. Anyone can be well spoken of where they're from. But being in that environment, I was very fortunate to meet people who came from wealthy backgrounds that when you see the way they live, they were kind of my role models.
Yeah.
My parents are working class people, you know, so they're not from the wealth background. But I was very lucky that the area I'm from, I had people who were from that background that I was able to see how they speak, how they cooperate with the system, how hardworking they are, and those were the kind of elements which I applied to myself. And then when you're seeing them living in big houses, you say to them, how did you get there? And they tell you, hard work. And then when you hear those kind of words, it's like, that's what you need to do.
They tell you hard work.
Hard work, of course they had luck.
There's no privileges, there's no...
Oh, privilege, okay, well, yeah, privileges will be involved, but my friends who are wealthy, they're wealthy because of their parents.
Okay.
Their parents came from my background, so working class background, and they worked hard to get to where they are. So their kids are enjoying their wealth.
So it's wealth that's coming through the blood.
Yeah, and then you know, earlier before we had the cameras on, I told you that some of the main reasons of me doing POLARFACE is also the financial success. You know, like I'm a first generation born here, so I have the duty to make sure that when I have children, they're Congolese. Do you know what I mean? Their grandparents are Congolese, their father's got Congolese descent. So when they tell their friends where they're from, they'll tell their friends, I have Congolese descent. So I want to make sure that when my children are born, they will probably be the third or fourth generation born in the UK. And they need to come from a family where a legacy has been created. Because I was telling you before the camera was on, you look at the other African communities, they've been in this country for nearly 60 years. That there are legacies in their family. And that's what we need to do as a community. We need to create legacies for our family because we've seen our parents suffer. We've been fortunate to be born here. We're born in a country where people die to move here. We need to make sure that we make them proud that we do successfully well, that when my parents become at an old age, they can sit back and say, moving here was a blessing because our family did well.
They invested in you and obviously you paid them back by doing well.
And those are the elements I had when I was at university, or when I work for the record label, or where I work in my part-time jobs. Those are the kind of elements I have in my mind every day, to know that my parents have worked hard to move here. I mean, moving to England is hard. It's not like
a lot of people are dying.
Yeah, a lot of people are dying.
They're down in the sea.
Exactly. You know, it's not like you book your plane tickets and you move to another country. You have to go through the visa, you have to go through this, you have to go through citizenship. You go through a long process. So in the back of my mind, I always have that, to know that my parents have worked hard to move here, that I need to make sure that I make them happy.
That mentality, because it's hard to see a lot of young people at your age thinking the way you think.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people at your age thinking about gang clubbing, they're thinking about partying, they're thinking about just enjoying life.
Yeah.
That mentality, was it told to you by your parents, or was it just, it came to awareness just like this?
It came to my parents, 100%. But then it also came into the environment I was in. You know, that's also friends. Because you could have fantastic parents, But if you think about it, when you're growing up, you're with your friends more than with your parents.
They influence you the most.
The most. You tell more of your stories to your friends than you would to your parents, because you know, if you tell the story to your parents, they'll be disappointed. If you tell that story to your friends, they will understand. They will help you out. So I was very lucky. I had two aspects of that. It was good. You know, my parents were very motivating, very supportive. And my friends are motivating and very supportive. Yeah.
Okay.
So my friends are people who didn't want to always muck around. Then they used to obviously we have our fun. We're young, we do enjoy ourselves. But at the back of our minds, we do know the main purpose of life, which is, it means to be happy, you know, it's to be successful, it's to enjoy your life, you know.
Okay. Where do you see yourself 5 years time?
If I like to watch this video back in 5 years time and hope that I've achieved it. But my goal is to make sure that my record label, POLARFACE Music Group, is one of the most successful independent record labels in the music industry, you know. Not only in the music industry, but in culture. And that's why it's so valuable for me and very important for me to go around and just meet loads of new people and let them know who I am, because you don't know who you can meet. Like, I can even meet you. I met you today, Francois, and you could be a very big supporter of my record label that you're gonna want to start supporting. You know, and for you to be a successful business, you basically need the people on your side. So my goal in the next 5 years is to run a successful label, which I'm doing full time. I can come into work every day, happy with what I do. I'm traveling the world.
Are you not happy with what you do at the moment?
I'm happy. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy. You know, I'm happy with what I do, but it's not what I want to do forever. You know, it's not what I want to do. But what I'm doing is I'm surviving.
And obviously, in terms of what you do now, no, in terms of what you do as a music label, CEO, I don't know what to call you, but founder. Yeah,
founder's a nice word.
Founder's a nice word. In terms of what you do now, who's your inspiration in the music industry? When you look at all the label, the founders and the CEOs, who's your inspiration? Who do you want to be like? Who do you aspire to be like one day?
Yeah, so do you know a guy called Dumi?
I know Dumi, yeah.
Dumi, I can't pronounce his surname, it's bad on me.
Yeah.
He started Disturbing London.
Yes, he started in London, Dumi.
Yeah, legend.
Yeah.
Like, he started a record label through his own way, his own lane. He invested into himself, he invested into Tiny, because he saw the potential in Tiny, you know. And
they're not related?
I think they're cousins.
Yeah, they're cousins.
And when I read interviews of Dumi's life, they always talk about their cousins. And to see how he's been able to build Disturbing London to be one of the most successful independent record labels of today is astonishing. And it's just so amazing to watch and read and have knowledge in. Like, this is somebody who loved music, had a passion for it, but also had a passion for entrepreneurship, and had the passion of freedom, you know? And what he did, he was working every day. And the money he made, he invested into the label. And he's happy to see his record label to be one of the most successful labels. So Dumi is definitely an inspiration, and for him to be a black man, you know, be successful in the music industry, where to this day, even though we're seeing success in the music industry, especially for black people, there are still racial undertones in the music industry, you know. So to see a black man who comes from a working class background to be successful in the music industry is inspirational. So Dumi is definitely on the list. And a man called Richard Russell, he started a record label called XL Recordings. That label has got Adele, you know,
big.
You know, if you've got Adele on your record label, you are very big, you know. And I love what he stands for his record label, which is to promote good music. And that's what I do for POLARFACE. I just want to promote good music. And that's why one of my artists who I'm here to also talk about as well, called Clive Mercury. I mean, he's a London-based rapper, my age, Congolese descent. But when I tell you, one of the greatest voices I've ever heard, you know, and this is somebody who's not even big, but when I heard him for the first time, I said to myself, I have to work with this guy because I heard the potential. I heard something which I've not heard from anybody else. That's when I said to myself, I have to be involved in this guy's music. And another thing which played a special part was he's Congolese. I couldn't believe that he was Congolese. I asked him, what's your surname? He told me Mayala. I was like, you're Congolese, right? He says to me, yeah. And then from that moment, I said to myself, we have to work together because.
Was he signed at the time when you met?
No, he was independent. And then he was somebody who just wanted management, you know. And then I was starting my record label, and I said to him, I've got this record label. You're an up and coming artist. Let's work together.
So our manager is your founder / manager.
I'm all of it. But I'm that person because I've gone my way to try and get him a record deal. But no one wants to sign him. But that's how the music industry works. For big record labels to sign you, what you need to do, you need to create a buzz for yourself. So your streams on Spotify, Apple Music needs to be good. It needs to be at a substantial amount where an A&R, let's say Sony Music, can say, yeah, I want to sign Clive Mercury because the figures are good. That's one. You need to create a buzz in the live scene. So if you're doing more live shows, it's an opportunity for them to come and watch you live. And if they watch you live and they like your music, they will sign you. And the most important thing, creating a fan base. If you have those three elements at a good level, you're going to see a record deal coming your way. But us, unfortunately, we're not in that place yet, but we're growing, you know? And that's why we're doing the things in order to get there. So that's why
you've got a live show coming up.
The live show coming up on the 1st of August at the Folklore, which is in Hoxton. It's going to be a Clive Mercury headline show. And it's just a perfect opportunity for people to watch the guy live and just to witness an amazing performer.
And how long has he been doing music live?
We've been working together for nearly 2 years now.
Okay.
You know, and then we were working together when I was at university. So while I was at university, it was a hard balance to do uni and to also do the record label. And because now I finished university, I'm an adult now. And I'm a free man. So this is now the time when you sit down and you think, okay, what do I want to do next? You know, you finish education, what do I want to do next? And I said to myself, I want to make this record label successful. This is what I want it to work. I want it to thrive as an organization. This is now going to be my main focus for the rest of my life.
And then in terms of the artists, you have Clive. Who else did you have?
And I have an R&B singer based in Manchester called KSR. So not KSI.
Yeah, like the big KSI.
Yeah, KSR. And he's a fantastic musician, doing really good at the moment. You know, being played on BBC's, had a lot of live shows which have been sold out, and his name is growing in the music industry. So I've got those two artists, but I'm looking to sign more musicians.
Are you investing your own money into the actual record label?
Yeah, I'm investing. You know, I don't come from a background where my parents could give me £10,000 to start a label. You know, you got to do it yourself. Yeah. You know, like if you want to be your own person and create your own lane, you have to invest.
And in terms of support, do you have are your parents supporting you?
100%.
And your friends and
yeah, 100%. I got a fantastic network of friends and family. Like every day, I'm very lucky to have a good relationship with my father. You know, every day I talk to him about this. If I'm going through problems, I realize why keep it in yourself when you can speak to the people who care about you the most. You know, so if there's anything important where I'm feeling a bit sad or I'm feeling a bit nervous or I'm feeling happy, I always go my way to talk to my parents so they know what I'm doing. Because when I was younger, my mum and dad used to be like, oh, we want you to be a doctor, we want you to be an electrician, be a doctor, be this, be a lawyer,
banker.
Be a banker, be all of that stuff. And then when you grow up, you're not that person. So
how did they feel about you doing music?
Do you know what? I think they've always been supportive because I used to do theatre classes when I was younger. You know, so I was already immersed. So that's their fault. They took me to theatre classes, so they made me to immerse myself in music. So my parents have always been supportive, you know. But I think for them to also know that I'm doing really good in life or I'm working hard, I always make sure that I always talk to them on what I'm doing, so that they have that assurance, knowing that my son is in a good place, he knows what he's doing, he's working hard, let's support him.
And since you started the label, what's been the most difficult thing you've had to overcome?
Some of the most difficult things I had to overcome is financial aspects. You know, so there'll be times when you'll have money, and there'll be times you haven't got money. So when you haven't got money, it's hard because you're not able to execute the things which you've planned, you know, to achieve or to execute. So financial implications are a thing which is very hard, you know, sometimes to overcome, but I always figure a way. You know, if I find something's too expensive, I'll make sure that I won't do that, and I'll find the other alternative which is cheaper. And another thing which a lot of people don't like to talk about, mental health. You know, running a record label, you're spending your own money. Money which I can spend on clothes, money I can spend on holidays, money I can spend on food. I mean, money I have to spend on my relationships. You know, like I'm not doing
your girlfriend.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I was spending it on my record label. You know, so when something you invested doesn't go well, sometimes it ruins your mood. You think to yourself, oh, can I do this? Like, should I just give up? Like, why am I making life hard? But then in the back of my mind, I always remember the purpose of why I'm doing this. So to overcome these things, I just talk to the people who I love, I care about, just to feel good about myself. Because if I keep it in, it's gonna ruin your mind.
Yeah.
You know, and to be successful or to be happy, the most important word, to be happy, you need to have a healthy mindset.
Okay.
So to have a healthy mindset, you've got to communicate with your family, you've got to communicate with your friends. You know, so these things which I overcome, I always make sure that if I'm going through trouble, I always speak to the people I care about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any mentor?
Mentors, yeah, my father, you know, he's a mentor. I've had some mentors in the music industry, you know, who have been good to me. They've given me some valuable advice. You know, like the lawyers I work with are mentors. And the people I run the record label with, they're mentors too. I run a record label with 3 other people.
Okay.
My age, you know.
Co-founders.
Co-founders of the label, yeah. Co-founders. So I started the label, but then I had people who joined the team who saw the same vision. And they're like my mentors. And also my artists. There'll be times when I don't know what to do. Sometimes my artists will tell me, you know what, let's do this, let's do that. And you think, oh, okay, that idea can work. So my mentors are my family, the people in my record label, and I met some good people in the music industry who give me some advice.
And in terms of books, do you read any business books and stuff?
Do you know, my bag's in the other room.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to ask you, but Dad, you got time to get my bag? And I'll show you. I'll tell you why. You'll see why. I see here. You've got books here, and these are very good books. You know, these are very good books. But I've got books which helps me to know about the record business.
Yeah, let's start bringing it.
You know, I'll show it to you. I'll promote it. But when I tell you this,
here you go.
I'll show you right now. On my day to work, every day on the train, I read this book. This book here.
I've seen around music business. Yeah.
I took this book.
Yeah.
Is like the Bible for people. You know, it's got everything. You know, in terms of record contracts, in terms of qualities to be a good manager, in terms of how to run a record label. Like, this book is what helps me know about the industry every day. Like, listen, when I started a record label,
you didn't know.
I had no clue, but all I had was a vision and a passion. But then to be successful.
So how long you been reading this book for?
I've been reading it for a good year. It takes a long time. You can't read it like that, you know. And because sometimes I have finished this book, but I have to go back again, because you could read something and it'll go out your mind, you know. So, but to refresh again, you need to go back and read it again. And then when I started my record label, I had no clue how to run a record label, but these books have helped me to know what to do. So when I talk to people about the record label, people say to me, Jason, like, you're so smart. How do you know all this information? I say to people, read. Education. Like, this is my education. This is why I know facts and I know stuff about the music business, because I read books like that. So yeah, this book, The Music Business, has been the most important book of my life. I'll be reading this forever. Even when I become successful and my artists are doing well and I've got this office, I will still read this book.
Your reference book?
Every day. I will still read this book.
So any other book that you can...
This book, and there's another music business book as well, written by a guy called Donald Passman.
Okay.
That's good. And then I also read books which are outside of music.
Like?
I read books which are about black culture, and about the importance of us as black people, you know. Growing up, we've always seen negative connotations about ourselves. And it's sad, because we're full of life, we're full of richness, you know. and it's so important to it's so important to know who you are, you know. So I always like to read books which are telling me about me as a black person, my worth, my value. So I do like to read books like that, you know.
How has reading impacted you as a person, and also what change has it brought to your life?
That's an easy answer.
Yeah.
It has opened my world, you know. I come from a life where I've grown up in a council estate all my life, you know, and I've seen people who are like best friends of mine that gone to another way in life, you know, and sadly some of them are not here, some of them are in prison, you know, institutions which they don't deserve to be in. But they've been in those places because I feel I could say it in the bottom of my heart, there's been a lack of education, you know, and I've been very lucky to know that to have education in life, it's the most vital key for a human being to do well, you know. So reading has opened my world, where it has allowed me to know, okay, this thing exists. Oh, that thing is good. That thing is bad. That thing has opened my imagination of how I need to see people, how I need to treat people, how I need to care about myself, how I need to look out for my people. So reading is for me, it's a human being's gift, you know. It allows you to access information you could never access, you know. That's why reading is so important, you know, and education is so important too. And that's why I'm vocal. I speak about it all the time to my brothers, to my younger cousins who are growing up, and also to other people who live in my estate, because where I'm from, we're not supposed to do the things which I've been able to achieve, which is go to university and look at entrepreneurship, you know. Even though my record label is not there yet, people see me as like a success, because to get into the world of entrepreneurship, for some reason, is seen as a rare thing. To me, I find that the most craziest thing. Entrepreneurship should not be a rare thing, especially for black people or working class people. Entrepreneurship should not be seen as a rare thing. It should be seen as a thing of, we can do it, let's do it.
Maybe because it's hard.
It's hard, you're right, it's hard, but at the same time, think about the benefits. Can you imagine you are going to work at your own time? You are going to work for doing something which you love. You are going to work and like you're happy all the time, and you are making money from something which you're happy to do. Do you understand? Rather than doing a 9 to 5. And don't disrespect to 9 to 5s. I'm in a 9 to 5 currently, and I understand 9 to 5s pay the bills and it helps out a lot. But just think about the benefits. It's hard, but at the back of my mind, think about the benefits. I'd rather work hard to get the benefits.
Okay.
You know, 100%.
Good. Before we finish, just tell us about the event, remind us about the event, when is the event taking place, what time, and how much it costs for people to access the venue. So first, I'd like to say, when you're watching this video, it'll be amazing if you could follow POLARFACE Records on socials, on Instagram. Can you spell how you spell it? Because people won't be able to find it.
So POLARFACE Music, so it's POLARFACE Music, and on Twitter we are still POLARFACE Music, and Facebook you'll find us as POLARFACE. So I'll repeat POLARFACE again. It is POLARFACE Music. And for the event for Clyde Mercury, the event's happening on the 1st of August at a venue called the Folklore in Hackney. Tickets are £5 on the door, or you can buy tickets online. And the times are from 7:30 till 10 o'clock.
Yeah. So what should people expect on the night?
Great music, great atmosphere, great energy, and new music of what you're going to find in Britain today. And when I say this to my Congolese people, like, we need to support each other, you know. And of course, I'm not forcing you. You could watch me today and you could be like, yes, I'm going to support this guy, or you could be like, no, I don't want to support this guy. But if you do have the mindset of supporting people and wanting to see your people doing well, I would like to be seen as an example, you know, like where I'm somebody who wants to not only open doors for myself, but I want to open doors for my people. So I would encourage for people, if you got spare 3 hours on a Thursday night and you got £5, It'll be amazing to come to an event where this is a business run by an individual who's got Congolese descent. The main artist who's performing has got Congolese descent. And the purpose of what we do is to be successful in what we do so we can open doors for our people. We've seen the Ghanaians do it, we've seen the Nigerians do it, we've seen the Jewish do it, we've seen so many communities do it. Why can't we do it as people? You know, to think about that, we've been in this country for nearly 20, 30 years. This is the time now to build legacies for our people. And what I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to build a legacy. That's all I say.
Call them out in Lingala or in Congolese. Before you end the show.
I'm gonna ruin this video if I start speaking Lingala. But I just want to say, okay, listen, people, apologies if I speak Lingala really bad. Do forgive me, but I want to say, Batuba Congolais, Nazamwana Congolais, Nazamwana yo. Lingisanga. Merci.
Okay. That was a brother. One more thing, what advice would you give to young people that want to get into the music industry, they want to be like you?
Yeah, I want to say, love what you do first. You know, if you don't love what you do, there is no point getting yourself involved in this industry. And another thing as well is love what you do, care what you do, and just be confident. If you feel like you can be successful in this, just do it. There's no one stopping you. And if somebody's trying to stop you, remove them from your life. You know, all you need in this life is you just need good people in your life. So, me, I'm no genius. I just love what I do. I see an opportunity. I want to take it. So, for all my people who want to do what I want to do, love what you do.
Thank you.
Francois, I want to say thank you for having me here. Honestly.
Thank you.